my gosh, I took down so when I decided to start a YouTube channel, I bought like a stand for my car because I figured I would be in here recording a lot, which I was right, but then I kind of went on my hiatus, so I took it down, and now my camera is like sitting on this like ledge in my car. It's not a terrible angle, but let's hope for the best, I guess. I was debating on if I was going to record or not because I don't know, I'm kind of emotional. I think my period's coming next week, so that is usually the time that I get all of like my period symptoms. Like I'm emotional, I am hungry all the time, moody, but I'm gonna start using my channel. If you watch my last video, you know that I'm more or less going to start using this as like a digital diary, kind of, where I talk about experiences I've been through, what I'm going through, in hopes that, you know, you guys can relate, in hopes that, you know, you can relate and just like have a space where you feel seen and heard and connected and whatever. So I want to talk about yesterday. Yesterday I had a terrible day, and I wouldn't necessarily think anything like big and bad happened to make it like absolutely terrible. Like, I'll be the first to say I've had way worse days in terms of things happening to me, but I was having some serious imposter syndrome when it came to literally everything. Like, I was having some serious imposter syndrome, and I'm going to tell you why. So I have been working in corporate America for like 7 years, ever since I graduated college in 2015. Yeah, so 7 years. And I've had a great experience. Like, I've been lucky enough to pretty much exclusively work in creative marketing, and I've loved it. However, like, I know I am not cut out for like the 9 to 5 workspace, or like working on someone else's timeline. Like, I was truly made to be a little bit of like a free flower. So the summer of 2021, I had full intentions of leaving corporate America to pursue doing my own thing. And doing my own thing can look like a lot of different ways, but when I think about doing my own thing, it looks like creating content, so TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, potentially other mediums eventually. It looks like freelance writing. So like I've mentioned, I've worked in creative marketing for 7 years. I've worked as a copywriter, as a content strategist, and as a brand strategist. So I have a lot of marketing experience, and those tools are valuable to marketing teams, both in full-time and freelance positions. Like, I know this working in corporate marketing. So working for myself would also include like doing that for freelance. And then I also do some styling. So full intentions in the summer of 2021 to, you know, close close out the chapter of corporate America. But that summer I had my reviews for my full-time position, and I very unexpectedly got a promotion, which I'm not complaining about. Like, I'm so grateful, so thankful. But I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to see this through. This is the most money I've ever made from a full-time job. I don't hate this job, I just hate the time constraints around it. So I decided to pretty much stick it out as long as I could. And that winter, so like 6 months later, a couple like really sketchy things happened to me personally within the company. And I just like have kind of been in the funk of like, I feel like we're getting closer to my time being done here. So I've really been trying to like better balance content creation and working my full-time job without burning myself out, in the hopes that I can transition into content creation more or less full-time. Well, I have been, struggling with imposter syndrome. I've brought that up on here multiple times, and yesterday was like pretty much the worst experience I've ever had with it. Like, I was fully convinced, like telling myself, you can't do this, there's no space for you to do this, what makes you think that you're cut out for this, people aren't engaging with your stuff, which is like a lie. The Instagram algorithm is changing daily, mainly because they can't decide what kind of platform they want to be, and it's impacting creators across the board. And so I've viewed my ebb and flow in engagement, and honestly it's not even engagement, it's that external validation of likes and saves and comments. Like, my engagement is actually doing really well. For example, like my posts still have like 10 to 20% engagement rate, but they're just being exposed to like a fraction of the people that used to see my posts. So I'm like, Instagram hates me, it's because my content sucks, I'm not doing something right, what makes me think I can do this full time, I'm not cut out for this, I don't even know what I want to do, I want to look like this, but that's not me, I feel like this is more in alignment. Like, I just literally hammering everything bad I could say about myself when it came to my career, my creative experience, and my value in that arena. Every bad thing I could say about myself, I was saying. So that was happening. And then I started having like full-blown body issue. Then I started having like full-blown body image issues, which is something I have struggled with on and off for as long as I can remember. Like, yes, I know I'm a petite girl, but that doesn't mean I still don't struggle with body image issues and getting down on myself and not feeling like I'm pretty enough or skinny enough or strong enough and or whatever enough. And so I was also doing that yesterday, and so really I just was like in a very dark place. I couldn't focus on anything, so I was like extremely unproductive. Just really, really bad day. But last night and then this morning I had what I would call a come to Jesus, not literally, but like a moment where I had a realization from something I've been like trying to practice. So the book I'm reading, I can't even think of the name of it, but when I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen here. But the book I'm reading is all about learning how to like beat your ego. Like, we are all trained in society to lead with our ego, and that our ego is who we are, and we are only as happy or as successful as our ego feels that we are, when like that's not true. The type of person I am, the type of value I add to this world, the compassion and love that I have to share, that is not determined by what an app tells me is successful and what's not. And honestly, the app's not even telling me I'm not successful. It's just I am so used to fueling my ego with likes and comments and saves and shares that when I'm not getting that kick, I feel like there's something wrong with me. My ego thinks that there's something wrong with me. And it's not fucking true. Like, it's all a figment of this lie that I've put in my head, and who effing knows where it came from. So last night when I was getting ready for bed, I was like, tomorrow has to be better. We have to find a way to work through this. And then I said to myself, holy shit, today my ego won. Today I let quantifiable measurements that truly don't measure my quality of life, the type of person I am, the path I'm meant to be on, define my attitude and my mood. And tomorrow, that is not fucking happening. Like, no fucking way. And then to couple that, as I was like doing some laundry, getting ready for bed, I was packing a little bit because I'm on my way back to Iowa. I was finishing a podcast episode. One of my favorite people to follow, Melissa Wood Tepperberg. She's the founder of Melissa Wood Health. And something she says a lot, but it just felt like it was very serendipitous that she brought this up at this pinnacle part of my day where I was like having this realization about my ego, how I wanted the next day to be better. She said that whenever she doesn't feel like it, whether that's moving her body or getting up early to meditate or whatever it is, eating well, she asks herself this simple question: how bad do you want to feel good? How bad do you want to feel good? And I personally never really answer it when I ask myself that, but it's more of a way to trick my brain and train my brain to think in a way that no longer fuels my ego, but instead fuels, my confidence in the direction that I'm going, my security that I'm doing the right thing and trusting my gut. So, I let myself sleep in this morning. I let myself literally sleep in every day this week, which is a habit I broke like 2 months ago. So the fact that I'm doing it now is just a little annoying. But at the same time, like, I'm big on trying to listen to my body. But whenever I sleep in, I often let myself like panic. Because it's like, oh my God, I'm wasting so much of my day. There's so much to do. If I would have gotten up earlier, I could have gotten all this other stuff done. Instead of doing that today, I got out of bed, and the first thing I said to myself was, I am going to do XYZ, which was ice roll my face, sculpt my face, and meditate before I do anything else. And I don't care how long it's going to take me, but that's what I'm going to do. And I did it, and I was able to then take a deep breath, focus on some tasks I needed to get done. But then like 30 minutes later, I felt myself panicking because I was like, oh, I have so much to do, And then I literally stopped myself to trick my brain, and all I kept repeating was, how bad do you want to feel good? How bad do you want to feel good? So then it was like using the tools I have to calm my brain, to, calm my nervous system and get my breathing under control and make a list of what I need to get done before I have to leave town. And I'm going to eat better for lunch today. And yeah, maybe that doesn't mean I get to move my body because I wanted to take my time with my morning routine, but today that's what I needed. Like, I needed that calmness, that stillness. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just rambling on about this, but like, if you find yourself in a funk or having a really bad day, those are the two things I challenge you to start saying is, number one, is what is happening fueling my ego, or is what's happening a true depiction of who I am? Because most times when we're anxious or angry or mad or frustrated or, down on ourselves, a lot of times it's fueling a piece of our ego that potentially is just trying to keep us safe and keep us familiar. But ask yourself that, because then you can get introspective and figure out what you need to just get to the next point in your day. You don't have to solve. That's another thing I tend to do, is I fixate on, well, what does that mean for the rest of the day? What does that mean for the rest of the week? What does that mean for 2 months from now? Instead of fixating on that, sometimes it's like, what do I need to do in this moment to get to the next part of my day? What do I need to do in this moment to take my next break? What do I need to do in this moment to get to a stopping point so I can make my coffee? Like, it doesn't always have to be big picture solving all of the problems. It's like just those micro moments to get to the next step. And then the next question, as I said, how bad do you want to feel good? At the end of the day, everything I'm doing is purely out of trying to feel good. If I'm chasing a career where I employ myself, it's not because I want to be recognized as such. It's because I want the freedom to control my schedule. A lot of people see content creators like, oh, you just want to be well known, you just want to have a lot of followers. Like, yes, I want a good amount of followers, but that's because I want to be able to make a living doing this, because I want to share my story and connect with people and help people's lives be easier. But at the end of the day, I don't want it because I want fame. I don't want it because I want recognition. I want it because I want freedom. And I want freedom so bad that I'm willing to pour into content creation. And maybe content creation isn't even like the full picture. Maybe that's not the big picture or the end game career for me, but it's the next step, Like, that's a perfect example. So, like, how bad do I want to feel good? So fucking bad. So I need to do little things in my day that help me feel good, so I can feel good making decisions to get to the next step of my life. I feel like I'm getting really philosophical, and maybe it's not even making sense, but I hope this reaches the right audience and it resonates, because this has just been like so heavy on my mind. But like, how bad do you want to feel good? Like, so fucking bad, right? Like, we just want to feel good so bad. Anyways, maybe I'll record some more, maybe I won't. For this weekend, I'm going home for a wedding. 2 of my really good friends are getting married this weekend. to see two of my childhood best friends and their significant others, and I'm so excited. And I get to see my mom. I think we're gonna do a little shopping, and that's it. Yeah. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Love you.